You're listening to NFT 365, the first daily podcast on NFTs with your host, Fanzo, talking crypto, blockchain, Web3, non-fungible tokens, metaverse, and...
What the f*** is a non-fungible token?
We'll get to that.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to another episode of NFT 365. And I'm just curious, do you know how many blockchains there are? I mean, I can tell you, I don't know how many cryptocurrencies there are, and I actually don't even think I know how many blockchains there are. But I can tell you that we've minted an NFT across 28 plus blockchain unique marketplaces, and I'll explain what that kind of means. But the reason I really wanted to kind of highlight, this for this episode was really more on the idea of, knowing what's out there, like knowing where the possibilities are. But I also wanted to kind of identify some of the, let's just say, added confusion that this space ends up having, when it comes to NFTs, when it comes to all the different options and things that are out there. Of course, before we get into that, definitely got to give a shout out to our sponsor, Crypto Business Conference. It is happening in October in San Diego. It is for those that are in Web3, NFTs, crypto, and all that more. Definitely check them out. Looking forward to meeting up with lots of our friends out there at the Crypto Business Conference. So, we've been buying an NFT now for, every day. And when I, originally kicked off this concept, right, of buying an NFT every single day, for me, a lot of it came down to just the idea of I really wanted to document what was possible, but I also really was focused on how do we let people know to experience the utility and what NFTs have to offer without requiring kind of a financial obligation, right? And so that was part of the limitation, part of the problem that I believe that we ultimately were trying to solve buying an NFT every single day. Now I will say, as we've been going on this journey, the project itself has morphed a little bit, but so is the NFT space, right? And the parameters, just for those that aren't as familiar with it, the parameters were, what I've kind of developed is that we were buying an NFT that is in the mint phase, which the mint phase just really means it's launching, and I'm going to be the first owner of that NFT. Of course, we are holding all of those NFTs where we're going to sell them on November 11th, 2022 as one mosaic collection. And whoever buys that one NFT of our mosaic will actually get all 365 NFTs along with it. Now, as we started the journey, it's kind of funny. We minted an ENS domain for our very first one. And actually, for those that are, out there on, if you're on Twitter, and I'll include the link here in the bio, but I actually have a thread. So every single tweet, every single NFT that we've actually purchased, I've actually included in a thread on Twitter where you can actually, kind of go through that entire thread. And we started off by minting, an ENS domain, and then we minted our first NFT on Ethereum, of course. Which, we've done 279 NFTs as of the recording of this episode, and without question, a mass majority of them have been Ethereum-based NFTs, but. With that being in mind, our first couple were Ethereum, but then it was number 5. We actually changed it up a little bit. We actually minted the Constitution DAO. So the Constitution DAO, for those that remember how that all went down, they were raising money. They raised $40+ million to try to buy one of the the copies of the Constitution that was being put out for auction, and unfortunately they were outbid. But what they did was they then turned that into kind of the people's coin, and that was one of the options that were kind of out there. But alongside, right, alongside that, we actually minted way back on, and this was November 16th, I believe. So it was our 6th NFT that we minted. We minted our first Solana NFT. So if you had asked me when we started the project, I would have said, yeah, we're going to probably mint on Ethereum and Solana, and there's a chance we might mint on Polygon. But let me rewind the clock real quick for everyone that, back in that day where we were during those times. just to be very clear, there were not a lot of marketplaces that existed. So on Solana at the time, there was really only two places you could buy NFTs, Solsea or Solana Art. Now, there were a couple other marketplaces, but in my opinion, they weren't that, they weren't secure enough or prepared enough. And I remember, buying this. I had owned a couple Solana NFTs prior to buying this one for the collection. But, I had to create a new Phantom wallet. So if you're keeping score at home, right, we have two wallets at this point. We have a MetaMask wallet, which is holding our Ethereum-based NFTs as well as our ENS domain. And then we have a Solana wallet, which is that Phantom wallet that I mentioned. So that was kind of how we kicked off the project. And I'm not going to go through the entire collection, but I want to kind of set the stage because we quickly then moved into kind of minting some Solana, some Ethereum-based NFTs. But then there was started to be like this trend right around the end of November where some of the marketplaces actually began to I would say, I don't even want to say sell, but they began to offer marketplace exclusive NFTs. So what I mean by that is the NFT, even though there's multiple marketplaces that are available on that blockchain, only that one marketplace will actually be able to serve up that NFT. And so we actually bought a Solana NFT called Crypto Crazy, which was a one-of-one piece of digital art, but it was only available on the Solsea platform, solsea.io. And of course, as I'm sharing this, I'm gonna kind of frame up what this all kind of means, I think, as a bigger kind of picture as we move forward. But then, if we fast forward to December 1st, so this is December 1st of last year, we actually minted the Matrix NFT. Now, the Matrix NFT was on the Nifty's platform. Now, with some of these, with some of these projects and some of the, the different options, there are blockchains, and then there's layer 2 blockchains that you can actually, house NFTs and kind of manage NFTs as well. And I will tell you, for this one, it was on Nifty, so you needed the Palm. PALM. We needed to, get that that currency so that we need to move to the Palm blockchain, and we need to get DAI. DAI was the crypto that we needed to get so we actually buy this NFT. Now, within Nifty's, they kind of have their own little, wallet and management, the way that they kind of manage inside of their own, blockchain environment. But this, to me, kind of started off like this idea of wow, okay, well, what if I looked at more, blockchains and more NFT options? What if, what would that look like as I'm kind of summarizing or bringing a lot of these things together? Now, of course, many of us got our start, our original NFTs on Top Shot, right? And so Top Shot, of course, is built on another marketplace, another NFT, platform. But we also minted in December on DraftKings. So on the DraftKings, website, using the Autograph Marketplace, we minted a Polygon NFT that is technically only available to be viewed on the actual DraftKings, through DraftKings and Autograph. The reason that I wanted to stop here and just kind of break it down as far as, why this matters, what this whole conversation is about, is that there are not only different blockchains that you can mint on, but there are different marketplaces, and the marketplaces display different tokens, and sometimes differently. They have different ways to actually display these NFTs. So as a whole, as I was going through our list over the last couple of days, as we're building out some of our documentation, some of our information around NFTs, around all the different things that we're doing. The thing that I will just say as far as one of the lessons that I wanted to share is that, you have to think about what is the value of minting on a certain blockchain. Now, I will tell you, I remember when Matrix launched, the reason Matrix picked the Palm and working with Nifty's was because of it being more eco-friendly. I remember that being the narrative there. Now, I will tell you, the downside of that is I had to burn so much gas on Ethereum to get get ETH from my wallet onto the blockchain to then convert it into DAI to then buy the NFT. I'm not really sure how much it actually saved since I was still using gas to move my crypto over. But I also know that if you were buying the matrix, you could actually pay with fiat or USD or whatever your local currency is. Now, the bigger question for me at this time, right? So this is November, December, January of this past year, was really, okay, what does the secondary market look like? What are the wallets that we are going to have to manage and kind of understand? And then ultimately, what does this all look like down the road, right? Because we all know that, I think there was 54 search engines. Google was the 39th search engine ever. And we all know, we just Google things now. We don't even think about other search engines. So we know during that early adoption phase, there's oftentimes a flood of different options. And then of course they kind of shrink down in their, viability. With that being said, blockchain technology is a little bit different. Because blockchains are actually, they're optimized, and the technology itself, each one has kind of its different pros and cons and its different advantages, from speed to, volume to scale to transaction amount, right? And so a lot of those things play in to the big conversation. And you might have heard about the ETH merge that is happening over the upcoming, which will be pretty much the biggest. I guess we could say it. It'll be the biggest event in the crypto space ever when the Ethereum merge happens, as they move from proof of stake and proof of work. But with that being kind of being said, even during this time, right, during the November, December, January time, I was looking at the different blockchains and marketplaces as just added confusion. But I will tell you, as I started to kind of tap into some of the marketplaces, and just to be clear as well, we launched an NFT on December 12th that was actually launched on Rally, the Rally layer 2 marketplace and blockchain. That is where our creator coin is, where we have the ADHD coin. And what I did is I actually mirrored, so anyone that was buying our founders NFT, we sold 22 founders NFTs at $5,000 USD. Those 22 founders also had an Ethereum-based NFT that I minted for them as well, so that they could have it in their OpenSea and they could actually view it. And that's actually part of this whole confusion. Yes, it's nice to have a variety of options, and some are, Solana, I would say, is more optimized towards, gaming, right? I would say Wax, the Wax blockchain, which we have not minted an NFT on Wax yet. I've minted a couple personally, but I haven't found one that I really wanted to mint for the collection yet. But Wax is one that has a completely different kind of design, and the way that marketplace is set up, things are at a much lower dollar value. They kind of optimize them through unpacking of packages and a couple different nuances there as well. But on top of that, what we also saw kind of emerge in this whole scenario was really around not only do the different marketplaces or the different blockchains that are out there, but what if you launch on a new marketplace that allows you to get additional reach or maybe exclusive benefits? And I will tell you, early on, I didn't really understand why that would exist, but right now as we're speaking, if you wanted to mint an NFT on Ethereum, right, and have it available for you on the Ethereum, blockchain, and so you could view it in OpenSea, it could sit in your MetaMask. There's pretty much 9 or 10 different marketplaces that you could actually mint your NFT on. Now, some of them will allow you to see it across the entire blockchain, others not so much. And so then there's also things like art blocks and Recur and Super Rare, which is for that is, I think, definitely leans much more towards artists. But then there are some marketplaces that are attempting to be what would be referred to as multi-chain. One of them is Rarible. Rarible is one, and Rarible was a fairly popular NFT marketplace for a good while. And then I think they kind of we're trying to kind of adapt and find their own kind of I would say legs, or figure out what they were kind of rolling out for the masses for their benefit. But on Rarible, right, on the Rarible platform right now, you can actually mint, you can actually view in that marketplace NFTs that are on the Flow blockchain, NFTs that are on the Ethereum blockchain, NFTs that are on the Polygon blockchain, NFTs that are on the Solana blockchain, and then NFTs that are on the Tezos blockchain. So that marketplace allows you to actually view all of your wallets and all of your different NFTs. Now, OpenSea, of course, earlier, about 3 or 4 months ago, OpenSea rolled out the ability to view Solana NFTs on the OpenSea marketplace. And then just a couple weeks ago, Magic Eden announced, where Magic Eden is a marketplace based specifically for Solana NFTs. They actually announced that they're going to be rolling out Ethereum-based NFTs that will be able to be viewed there on Magic Eden. And so I say all of that because not only are there different blockchains, but then you also have to throw in kind of the metaverses, right? And we minted one of the NFTs for the collection on Sandbox. It's the Steve Aoki metaverse or Sandbox avatar, and so you needed sand coins, right? So I had to convert crypto over to Sand, S-A-N-D, and then I had to purchase that NFT with Sand. And the beauty of that is it's viewable inside of OpenSea, so that I can see it in the marketplace. But of course, it also lives in Sandbox, the metaverse land that is out there. And so all of this might sound confusing. And if it sounds confusing, you're probably listening pretty well, because this is very confusing, right? And I've been joking, and I've been saying on Twitter Spaces a lot that I've minted on 15 blockchains, and I don't recommend people to use 9 or 10 of them. Well, now that I've taken a step back and looked at it, we not only did like art blocks and crypto.com, we minted on the Wave blockchain, the Polygon blockchain. We minted on Foundation, Avalanche. We minted on Coinbase NFT platform, Known Original, even GameStop's platform. And so the bigger piece of this from me is that I think it's gonna be pretty cool that the collection, whoever buys this entire mosaic, they're gonna have a snapshot of what the landscape looks like across what all of the options are for all of the different NFTs. I will say, like, if I had to make a prediction, 2 years from now, most of these, marketplaces and blockchains that I'm mentioning will have streamlined how you view your NFTs, how the tokens are kind of presented. I also see us moving much more to even multi-chain wallets and how those kind of things kind of align. Because like right now in MetaMask, there are multiple different networks that you can change your MetaMask to store. But you need a separate wallet for Solana. You need a separate wallet for Tezos. You need a separate wallet for, not all Flow NFTs, but some Flow NFTs. If you want to, go on to, some of the Flow blockchain requires Blockto as a wallet or NFT marketplace. And so the lesson that I would share, and I'll kind of give you guys what my overall vision or thoughts on, the thing I have to say is that most of the minting experiences are pretty nice, right? Like they've done a pretty good job on the minting experiences. Getting crypto there and setting up your wallet, that's a barrier to entry. But even more so, one of the biggest barriers is the attention game, right? We are all playing the attention game. And if the secondary market attention, right? So if for people that are buying and selling an NFT after you've minted it, if we need eyeballs on those NFTs for them, of course, to sell, right? Because that's actually the demand. So we need demand to be able to find the NFTs so that they can actually know that there's a limited supply and they can buy them on the marketplace. What I believe we're going to see is we're actually going to see kind of I believe kind of like a morphed version of where we're at today, where I think we're going to see a lot of marketplaces and blockchains kind of provide certain features and functions for certain NFTs. And then for other ones, they're going to kind of, be out there for the wild where you're going to be able to move the tokens around. Now, I will tell you, for tomorrow's interview, I'm interviewing Zach, who is the co-founder of Recur. And Recur has actually built a pretty interesting kind of like multi-chain solution where you can buy the NFT on the Recur marketplace. And then you can actually export it to either the Ethereum blockchain or to the Polygon blockchain so that you can then sell it on OpenSea. And if you buy it on OpenSea and you want to move it back into Recur, you just open up your Recur marketplace, you hit deposit NFT, and it actually drops back over there into the Recur marketplace. But all of this adds, not only layers of confusion, but like one of the things for me over the last 48 hours was I was like, where the hell is that NFT? And then if I found the wallet, I'm like, where do I even view the marketplace or the wallet or whatever that may be that is out there? And so the bigger piece of this conversation, right? The bigger piece of what all of this means, in my opinion, is that as we continue to grow, as we continue to look at the blockchains for what their value is, I believe we're going to see platforms like a Nifty Gateway, right? Nifty Gateway, where you buy Nifties, and their platform is definitely has unique components for those that are minted there on Nifty platform, right? We have ones like the Known Origin platform. I really liked buying one of the projects that we minted there. It displays much like a foundation or a super rare marketplace, but it actually plays really nicely with your MetaMask wallet. It also allows you to display that in OpenSea as well. And so, for those that are out there that are like, where should I get started or where should I focus? Like, if your goal is to learn or understand where the best place is for you to launch your own NFT, I definitely recommend checking out lots of different blockchains and marketplaces. But if your goal is to kind of flip or make money or become like an NFT investor, you're going to want to play where the attention is at the moment. And for the most part, and I know the Maxies are going to come at me and hate me a little bit. For the most part, that is Ethereum. Now, Solana has some projects. They have the DGods, which is a big project there. We have Utes, which is coming out very soon, which I think will be a very interesting project there on that platform. But Solana also has they've been up and down fairly regularly recently. And we also don't know what like the Ethereum merge is going to mean for additional like how's that going to affect gas prices? How is that going to affect different components inside of this entire space? So what I would recommend is if you are focused on that flipping, that investor, you should be focusing majority of your attention on Ethereum if you're looking at PFP projects or one-of-one projects. If you're looking at artists and you're looking at projects where you're sporting more of a everything from a painter to a digital artist to AI, I would definitely check out Tezos and the Flow blockchain. Both of those are providing some really neat options. But also, you want to look at some of the other marketplaces that have popped up. I'm a big fan of Crypto.com. Crypto.com does a great job of displaying like kind of their launch pad for NFTs. We minted our very first one on GameStop. Yes, GameStop has its own NFT platform. We minted a collection from a one-of-one artist, Asia. It's actually number 265 in our collection. So for those that want to check that out, you can go check it out in 265 in our collection. But what I think I've learned the most out of all of this is that we are way early, and like, what does a good marketplace look like? OpenSea has been, without question, is the 100-pound gorilla. It is the main marketplace, but their customer service has been lacking. Their open communication has not been great. They finally added, just the other day, they added a new, finally a new user experience update where when you're looking at stats, you can actually not only look at the top, but you can look at the trending in a very smooth way, kind of very much like some of the other marketplace aggregators like a gem.xyz. And that's the funny part. I mentioned all of these places, but these are all ones that I found where I could launch an NFT as well as buy and sell them, right? Those marketplaces. There are also a ton of marketplaces that act as aggregators, right? What I mean by that is you can't launch your NFT actually on their individual marketplace, but it allows you to buy and sell across all, many different blockchains, many different projects. And so that's also one of the things that are out there that adds a little bit of layer of confusion. But I will say as a whole, I'm excited. I'm going to focus. I'm probably going to mint on a couple other blockchains before the end of the project. Cardano is one that I want to mint on. Binance is one that I want to mint on, and probably Wax. But if you're listening to this and you've minted an NFT and you like the marketplace or you like the blockchain, hit me up. Hit us up, on the podcast socials. We're on every social channel at NFT 365 podcast. So you can hit us up on any of those channels. Let us know, like, what are some of the blockchains or the marketplaces that you like. I'm always open for checking out new ones. For me, it's a lot of research, and then once I decide to buy one there, like, oh man, now I have to I have to move my crypto to an exchange. Now I need to convert it into the right crypto. And then I need to take that crypto, send it to the wallet. Oh wait, I have to set up the wallet because it's a native wallet for this platform. And then once I set up the wallet, now I have to move the amount in. Then who knows, after I buy it, like, how does it show up in a marketplace? Does it show up on all of the marketplaces? And, with some of the blockchains, there's as many as 8 or 9 wallet options. On other blockchains, there's only one wallet option. On some blockchains, there's only one because there really hasn't been a third party that has come in to actually optimize there. But I think overall, the lesson I hope that I would share from this for everyone, the takeaway, is that I believe competition breeds innovation, and that the people that benefit the most from this competition are you and I. Those of us that are buying and selling and minting NFTs, I believe, are going to be the ones that benefit the most from this whole idea of having all of these different options. So yes, it's confusing for most consumers and those that are a part of this. And I might have even explained some of this wrong, or maybe I kind of mixed up some of it as well, which I know if I did, you can feel free to let me know. But I think the bigger picture of this is that the more that a platform tries out new things and we like it, the more we're going to see the other ones kind of adopt it. I mean, look at Instagram, right? Instagram copying Snapchat stories, and the way that TikTok integrates music, and we can even go back to the way that Facebook was copying Instagram, and so like that's part of this whole nature. But I am excited for more innovation on these platforms. I would also just love to see some more, I would say, standards, which I know that's a weird word to say in the decentralized world that we live in, because standards often mean control. But what I mean by standards is, like, how do we know that we can trust a wallet, right? Like we know kind of the ins and outs of MetaMask because it's getting used by millions of people. But some of these other blockchains, they might only have 20,000, individual wallets on that blockchain. So are we confident that it's secure, but not only secure today, but secure in the future? And like, how are they going to adapt as we look at multi-chain solutions, or as we look at new layer 2s and some of the new contracts that are coming out there? And lastly, I'll say that's the other piece of this, is that, smart contracts, which to me are kind of like the coolest and the most exciting component within NFTs. A smart contract does not live on every blockchain. So there are some blockchains where, yes, you can mint something onto the blockchain, but there is not a smart contract attached to that actual token. So in that case, a lot of the things that are going to be delivered, you just kind of have to take it on its word, right? There's no if this then that. There's no code automation on the back end, and so it'll be interesting as we look at the future, as we move through these different blockchains, through the different cryptocurrencies. We're also in a bear market where some of these, I know Shiba Inu is going to launch its own marketplace for NFTs. I know OmniSwap just recently launched some news around what they're going to roll out, and I'm actually going to be doing something with Nifty Gateway upcoming as well, which I'm very excited about. And they're launching some innovative components within their platform as well. So there's a lot going on. I'm learning a ton, and one of the cool things is I don't think anyone, and if you have, I don't care about who's first, but I don't believe anyone has minted or researched as many NFT blockchains and purchased NFTs on those blockchains than I have, especially over the last 9-10 months that existed. And so it gives me, I think a leg up when I can talk about, what are the experiences that we want for NFT projects? How do we want, where do we want to innovate? Where do we want to change? Because I'm not just looking at Ethereum. I'm not just looking at Polygon or Solana. I'm looking at the breadth of really what is possible in this blockchain space. So hopefully that excites you. I know it can feel overwhelming. Don't worry about that. Focus on the places where your current attention is today. But remember, be listening and learning for where the attention will be tomorrow. Most people mistake FOMO for the idea of just status quo. But if you are not willing to listen and learn for where we are moving, you will be the one left behind. So my advice, and I will leave you with this for the podcast episode, is to focus your attention today where the current attention lies, right? Across those kind of 4 or 5 main blockchains and marketplaces. But be listening and learning for where the attention might move even more so in the near future. And if you're doing that, and if you're listening and learning and understanding what some of these other things exist, I believe you're going to be just fine. And subscribe to the podcast. Check us out on YouTube. As you know, I will continue to push the limits. I will continue to try things out because for me, I love testing what's possible so that I can translate it and bring it back to you. And then you can decide what is the best option for you moving forward. And then together we innovate, we grow, we hopefully inspire and motivate as well. Lastly, we are sponsored by the Crypto Business Conference. Check them out at socialmediaexaminer.com/NFT365. Excited to be a part of that event. Excited to have them as our media partner. And the last thing I will just kind of put out there, a lot of people have asked me, now that we're getting a lot more eyes on the project, right? I'm getting a lot of questions about, what are you going to do for season 2, and what are some of the lessons learned and the data that is out there. If you're listening to this and you're inspired or intrigued, or you want to learn more, or leverage this project to help your own community, your own project, your own world, I am 1,000% open to that, right? So I put out I'm very transparent. Every single NFT that we've purchased is posted on Twitter. It is in our Discord. And we will be updating the website very shortly. We have all of them up through June in the website, but we'll be launching an updated website with all of them up there on the website as well. But for me, this data and information is for all of us to listen, learn, and grow. I just asked that you give us credit from the standpoint of launching this pretty unique time capsule, and who knows what this all will look like once we sell the entire collection to that one lucky person that buys the mosaic on November 11th. So with that being said, my friends, as always, until tomorrow, make it a great day. Cheers.